Happy Sunday morning. I'm John. I'm playing Immaculate Grid, going for a low rarity score. I do want to say congratulations, first of all, to beat LA 24. Super fan likes to comment on the videos. I thought I had a pretty good score yesterday with a 9, but he bested me with a 7. So well done. Um, and just in addition, I just wanted to correct something from yesterday. So it turns out and this was something, thanks for the feedback in the comments. If you have two events like a gold glove and an all-star, something like that, or in yesterday's case, gold glove and 30-30 season, they don't need to have been in the same year. And I think that goes for pretty much anything. Awards, yeah, gold gloves, all-stars, all that stuff. So like yesterday's example, I think was I could have gone with, I'll start sharing my screen so I can show it. I could have gone with Barry Larkin for like this one, even though he didn't hit 300 the year he had a 30-30 season. He hit 300 the year before and probably in a bunch of other seasons. So that would be an example of one that would have worked. Anyway, let's get back into it. I'm gonna pound refresh and we'll play this Sunday edition of Immaculate Grid. And let's see, we've got the Padres and Blue Jays on top, 300 career batting average on the side. Ooh, that'll be interesting. I might not get this one because we've got the Marlins, the Cubs, and the Red Sox on the side. And yeah, that's going to be interesting to come up with a Marlin with a career 300 average. Um, Even if it's just someone passing through passing through Miami. I guess Miguel Cabrera is one that comes to mind right away. See if we can beat that. So without too much further ado, I've got a pretty good one here that I'm going to use. And this is someone whose career in San Diego was basically a couple months, but it came on the heels of being a top 5 MVP candidate, and then he retired forever. And the player I'm thinking of is Randy Myers, who played for the Cubs, had a 50 save season, I think in the early 90s. He was with Baltimore during the 1997 season, which the Orioles won the AL East. He then signed with Toronto actually the year before, so he'd work here too. Um, but I'm going to use him here because Toronto then trades him. He has a rough season in 1998. Toronto trades him, puts him on waivers. I think the Braves try to acquire him. In order to block that acquisition, the Padres acquire him, which was kind of a weird play since the Padres already had a pretty prominent closer named Trevor Hoffman. But let's see how this one does. Oh, okay. 0.6. That's pretty good. I would have expected it to be lower though. Let's see. Benito Santiago would work here. Trevor Hoffman would work here. I'm not gonna play Trevor Hoffman. I'm gonna play though one of my all-time favorite players. I love to play him when I can. Let's get Mike Cameron. He takes 0.8%. I also could have used him down here. I should be more careful. There's probably opportunities for me to do a little bit better if I just strategize. Like Randy Myers might have been better over here. I'm not sure. Um, Alex Gonzalez. It'll be interesting. I have to make sure I get the right one. But Alex Gonzalez, the first one, played for both teams. In fact, I'm going to put him because it gives me the opportunity to plug my book, Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities, which is on Amazon. Link will be in the description. Plug is out of the way. Yeah, let's go with him. But we have to make sure we get the right one, and it's not super easy. One has an accent over the A, the other doesn't, but it's the one that started earlier, that started his career at the Blue Jays and then went to the Cubs. And he probably, let's go ahead and select him. Takes 2%. Okay. He probably would have been the MVP of that 2003 NLCS. He had 3 home runs in that series, but everyone remembers him for making um, a costly error on what should have been a tailor-made double play ball. Um, and helping extend the inning. That's the Bartman game. A lot of things lined up to make sure that Mark Pryor was not going to finish out that inning. But Alex Gonzalez, the other one, was on the he'll actually work. Oh, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it because too. Anyway, the other Alex Gonzalez was playing on the Marlins. He did not have a great series, but ends up with the ring. He was also the Marlins representative in Backyard Baseball 2001, as I talked about in my book. I just had a little section in my Best of the Rest chapter devoted to Alex Gonzalez and Alex Gonzalez because they had such similar careers, both sure-handed fielding shortstops, not spectacular offensive players. Um, but Alex Gonzalez, the Marlin, the one who started with the Marlins, did play for Toronto. He had like a weirdly good season, I think in 2010 between the Braves and the Blue Jays. Um, so he'll work here too. So we can get both Alex Gonzalez's in the same grid. He takes 1%. All right. That's pretty cool. There might have been a better one, but I'm glad I did that. That was kind of fun to get both of them in, and it provides an opportunity for a shameless plug here. I still haven't come up with anyone better for the 300 average over here. I wonder if Jim Eisenreich ended up with 300 average. I'm just gonna sip my coffee and ponder that one. Probably not. All right, let's see here. Boston, San Diego. Adrian Gonzalez is the one that comes to mind. Kevin Mitchell will work. That'll work a lot better than Adrian Gonzalez in terms of rarity score. Let's go with him. Um, was Larry Anderson the guy that was traded to the Red Sox for Jeff Bagwell? I want to say he might have been a Padre at one point. Oh, but I'm not saying that with any confidence. Let's just go with I am confident on Kevin Mitchell. Played a little bit with both teams. He goes under 0.1%. All right. And Red Sox and Blue Jays, I think there's a few options here. Roger Clemens, I think, would be a good one. Pretty prominent player. Yeah, pretty prominent player. He's one of the best pitchers of all time. Let's see. Ricky Henderson will work. Played little cup of coffee with both teams. Here's an interesting question. Would he work better than another person I'm thinking of? Marco Scudero played for both teams, around 2009, 2010. I think Otis Nixon will work. Let's try Otis Nixon. I think that'll be a pretty good one here. Takes 0.2%. Scudero might have been better. Clemens was not going to be great there. I think a lot of people are going to get that. That might be actually the highest one. So now we're going for 300 career batting averages. So with Boston and Chicago, I at least have the benefit of older players. 300 career batting average is tough. I messed this category up with the Reds one time while doing these videos. It was probably a couple weeks ago. I was sure. In fact, I was so sure, and I thought it was just going to be a lousy rarity score, but I didn't want to play Pete Rose. So I put Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin retired with a 295 career batting average. I know Albert Pujols, who had a 330 career batting average for pretty much the entirety of the time I was watching him play. Until it just like his years with the Angels, it just trickled down and down. He retired with like a 296 career average, I think. Which tells you how difficult it is to maintain a 300 career batting average. One that I'll go with for Boston. So like there are some good ones that'll work here. Ted Williams and Carl Yastrzemski are two good ones. Jimmy Fox will work. Let's see. Yastrzemski won't work. I think his career batting average ended up in the 280s. I think Nomar might work. I'd actually be in fact, I might use Nomar for the Cubs because he was traded to the Cubs. Or I'll try to come up with someone older. Older is probably better. go with Cap Anson or someone like that. Um, I'm gonna go with Al Simmons because I know he briefly played for the Red Sox, ever so briefly played for the Red Sox. Yeah, 0.03%. I've used Al Simmons a lot, but I'll keep going. He works for so many of those American League teams, and he works for the Reds and Braves. So let's see here. We got for the Cubs. I'm thinking Nomar. Actually, I maybe not. No, Nomar might not be a good risk reward type play. Rogers Hornsby, that'd be another good early Cub. How about Kiki? I think it's pronounced Kuehler. He played with the Pirates and Cubs. I think that'll be a good pick. I'm pretty sure he had an over 300. Let's try him. Takes just under 1%. And now we have to come up with a Marlin. Ideally, a Marlin who isn't Miguel Cabrera. Or Luis Arias would work too, I assume. Um, so that's a couple names. Probably gonna do really well. Um, let's see here. Bonilla's not gonna work. I don't think Moises Alou works. Pretty sure he doesn't work. I don't think Sheffield works. I think Sheffield's got like a 295 career batting average. I don't think Pudge Rodriguez quite works either. Um, don't think Derek Lee works. Don't think Delgado works. Don't think Hanley Ramirez will work. He would have worked circa 2011 or 2012 or so, but his batting average definitely went down after a while. Um, Luis Castillo and Juan Pierre, I think, would have 290 plus batting averages, but um, I don't know if they ended up with 300 career batting averages. That would actually kind of surprise me. Um, there's some other people that just sort of popped. Tim Raines popped into the Marlins briefly, but I don't think he's gonna work. Um, yeah, he was like 295, I think, for his career. Um, I know Hal Morris was a 300 average for his career, but I don't think he ever played for the Marlins. This is an interesting one. And I want to get someone who's not Cabrera or Reyes because I think that's just too obvious. It's just not fun. Um, but I'm struggling to come up with anyone else. Um, Luis Castillo's like kind of calling to me, but I think there's a piece of me that's just like, no, he's definitely not going to work. And I know Jim Eisenreich didn't play very much, and he had a 360 batting average one year, and he was a Marlin, but somehow I don't think that's going to work. Maybe Moises Alou did sneak out a 300 career bat. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Moises Alou had a 300 career batting average. He just hit 300 a lot. Like every year he played with the Astros. Some sneaky great years late. And who else sort of pops in? I'm just trying to think of people who popped into Miami briefly and left. So obviously I could have gotten this with Miguel Cabrera. I could have gotten it with Reyes. I'm gonna say Moises Alou had a 300 career batting average. Let's see how we do with that. He did, and he gets 3%, and I still end up with a rarity score of 9. So I go sub 10. Um, Mark Grace, very popular there. Ted Williams there. Roger Clemens was the top getter for Red Sox and Blue Jays. Gary Sheffield taking 19%. He was traded from the Brewers to the Padres, but he only played there for about a season and a half. Before he was flipped over to the Marlins. So I'm surprised he takes 19% since that was 30 years ago. But um, interesting stuff. Bogarts, yeah. For whatever reason, I just don't like the names that come to my head. Like I know Bogarts played with the Red Sox and is currently playing with the Padres, but it doesn't leap to the front of my mind. And I know that current players are going to be the most popular for the most part. You know, exceptions here, obviously. Let's see some other people who would have worked for the Marlins. Okay, they did it this way. Let's see. I mentioned Perez and Cabrera. I played Alou. Joel Adams, wasn't he a pitcher? Mike Piazza. That's another one. That would have been a good one. I should have been able to come up with Piazza and Ichiro. I didn't even mention Ichiro. So there, yeah, I could have come up with. I should have been able to come up with Piazza and Ichiro. I would have had. I had a lot more confidence in them having 300 batting averages than Alou. Maybe that means Lou was the right pick, given that I wasn't going to come up with this guy or this guy, Mark Hutton, Mike Jeffcoat, Dan Jennings. I was never going to come up with any of those people. So, all right. So back-to-back games with a nine. It's only about 10:30 here on the East Coast, so there's probably by the time the 24-hour span is finished tomorrow morning, it might be low, it might be worse or better than nine. Who knows? But I'll take it. And if you beat my score, feel free to post. And if you don't beat my score, that's okay too. I just love playing this game, and I love sharing it with y'all. So thanks for playing, and have a good rest of your weekend. Peace.